Hello and welcome to The Villain Was Right, the podcast where we look at movies and TV shows from the villain's perspective and dare to ask, were they really all that bad? I'm your host, Craig Fay.
And I'm your host, Rebecca Reeds.
And it's our kind of holiday movie month.
Yeah, that's right.
This is also our audience choice episode.
Yeah.
So our patrons have picked Scrooged.
Scrooged.
Bill Murray
Hilarious.
coming at you for our last holiday-themed episode of the month, of the year, even?
Of the year, yeah. Closing it down. Bill Murray, Little Murray Styles.
I had actually never watched this movie in full.
I don't think I ever had either. It's cinema crime, I think.
It is.
But I think I was trying to piece it together. I'm like, have I watched this movie in parts? Did I just see it once in passing? I'm not sure. I had I could kind of remember some of the stuff-ish.
Yeah, I had like vibes all the way through.
Oh yeah, I was riding on vibes the whole way.
Like I was
Absolutely.
like, all right, Carol Kane hits him a lot.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, I kind of remember all this. And then there was whole things that I just did not remember.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
The nipples being one. This can't be on TV. Your nipples are out. And I was like, I should probably just be. I was like, oh, nope, those are nipples.
Those are nipples.
Nipples.
I do admire their decision to actually show
the nipples.
Yeah. And you're like, yeah, actually, you did have a borderline. Can I show these nipples? Sort of.
That was real. That was borderline. That was on the line.
Like, kudos to the movie makers for making ambiguous nipples.
You don't see a lot of half nip in cinema anymore. Not a lot of half. It's full or nothing. You get not a lot of quarter half nip happening.
That's right. That's right. We've lost the art of subtlety.
Oh God.
But guys, it's Scrooged. If you haven't seen this movie, like apparently us. Which was a surprise to me.
Oh, God,
I was like, I get it.
I got the concept.
It's sort of a modern comedic retelling of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, Scrooge.
Yes.
We've got Bill Murray playing Frank Cross, who is a TV executive, youngest president of the network in TV history. And they're doing a live Christmas Eve performance of A Christmas Carol. Basically what happens is Bill Murray's character, Frank Cross, is a huge asshole. He fires a guy Christmas Eve for challenging him for making like the world's scariest trailer for the
Kills a woman.
Kills a woman, yeah, from fear of it. Fires Bobcat Goldthwait, and basically then is met by his old boss, who is dead. And is like, your ways are wrong. And then, of course, throughout the night, he's visited by the ghost of Christmas Past, who's a New York cab driver. He's visited by the ghost of Christmas Present, who is Carol Kane, who just hits him a lot and shows him what's going on. And the ghost of Christmas Past, who shows him that, he'll die one day. Basically all the way through that, there's his like love, Claire, who he like abandoned to like be more of a TV guy and stuff like that. And he's trying to reconnect with her. And the movie sort of ends with him being absolutely crazy and going on live TV and being like, basically, God bless us, everyone.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
God bless us.
And, he's changed his ways and everything like that. There's also plots of like his boss bringing in someone to sort of replace him for the live production because they think he's stressed out, which is an important point that I'm going to get to a little later. Oh, and Bobcat Goldthwait. Why can't I say his name? Bobcat Goldthwait comes back in with a shotgun and shoots up the place.
That's right.
After being fired and his girlfriend's running a homeless shelter. His ex-girlfriend, I guess, is running a homeless shelter all the way through it. But if you've seen A Christmas Carol, you've seen this movie, and it's just kind of Bill Murray shouting through all of it.
Yep.
Did I miss anything?
No,
I think
nothing that we're not going to talk about right now.
Yeah. So who did you peg as the villains of this?
I think, okay. Well, obviously, like the classic villains in this movie are, first of all, our protagonist. Like he is the villain of the movie. Like the whole point is that he's awful and then he switches.
Yes.
The guy they're bringing in, I would say a villain. I would also argue trying to shoot up an office space villainy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the point I really want to make is that I think all the ghosts are villains and I think they're wrong.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Do you want to start there?
Yeah, start with that. Yeah.
Okay, I think the ghosts are the villains of this story and they're all wrong because I fundamentally and truly believe this man should not get a second chance. I do not think, and I think this is like a whole thing of like, why does this man get free therapy? Why on earth does the richest man in this entire, well, not the richest man, but let's say the second richest man in this movie, why does he get a free life lesson? Why does he get free therapy? Why does he get a redemption? He did not earn a single moment of that redemption.
No, I would actually agree with
that. That's fucking right, buddy. Okay, this is the rich getting richer again. Okay, You're telling me you've got all this money and you didn't look inward and think, hey, maybe I should catch an hour, you know what I mean, with a professional? No. Okay, he just dumps on everybody all the time. He is forced to change and then we're supposed to like him for it? Fuck you. Fuck you, dude. I was so happy when the first ghost dropped him out of the building. I was like, yeah, get him.
Yeah.
Okay, get him. Fuck that guy. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Because like here's the thing I picked up on though, whereas like because the point of this movie is that he starts off as a bad guy,
the worst,
and you know slowly through these lessons, like the Dickensian thing of like. You know, through these lessons and seeing how the spirit of Christmas is used by like, other people and all the rest in the error of my ways and slowly come to a realization and change. But in this movie, he doesn't change. He doesn't learn a single fucking lesson from the Ghost of Christmas Past. He doesn't learn a single lesson from the Ghost of Christmas Present. He doesn't like seem to change his attitude towards other people or how he treats people until he sees himself in a coffin in the Ghost of Christmas Future. Right? That's the moment where all of a sudden he's like, oh my God, I'm going to die one day.
Nobody loves me, but I'm a narcissist. I need your love.
Right?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if I'm kind of the opinion that maybe if you get to Ghost of Christmas Future and you haven't like moved a little bit, I don't think you get Ghost of Christmas Future.
I think so. I agree. I absolutely agree. I'm out here watching somebody through a Zoom call tell me about my childhood and you've got time travel and it's not working? Fuck you. Fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, time travel.
There definitely needs to be a pass-fail on each of the ghosts.
Yes, because here's the thing, is that I understand when we're watching the movie and it's like, well, but he had a rough childhood.
Yeah, his
and
dad,
it's like,
just stepping outside of the criticism for a minute, his dad coming home and giving him $5 of veal.
And then he starts crying. He's like, that's such a good present.
He's like, that's like $50 in today's money.
Yes, which is a very funny beat, and I like it.
Yeah.
And I very much do like, I want to say, I'm going to rip this movie apart, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's actually a very funny take on...
It's a great movie. There's a lot of fun performances in it. I really do enjoy it, but I am going to rip it to shreds because fuck this guy.
Yeah, like the, just to take a step back again, that beginning where it's just playing the trailers of all the Christmas programming that they're doing.
Yes.
It's like the night that the reindeer died with like... I forget his name, but the $6 million man, like with a gun and like shoot. Great.
Yeah, the scene we're in this is amazing. But yeah, this guy, none of this is really moving the. He sees his past with his ex.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm like, okay, so you're looking at this scene. You give her knives, she gives you Karma Sutra, and I'm like, you're not seeing the imbalance here already?
Yeah. I mean, Christmas presents are always so hard for me.
Well, it wasn't delivered in bag form, so I don't think Kat would understand it. She'd be like, what are these knives and what are they doing in a clean package like this?
Yeah. They can cut, the Ginsu knives. Like, maybe that's something she really wanted. You know what I mean?
I suppose.
I don't. Gifts are hard. Like, here's the thing.
Gifts are hard.
Gifts are hard.
Is Craig's take. Yeah, I like that. Gifts are hard.
You know, and I will say in that past, they're definitely in that like that scrappy first Christmas in our own apartment together. We're gonna get you like I got you Ginsu knives from like the TV at that point, right? Like, and I went to a used bookstore and I got you a Karma Sutra. Like we're all spending like $20 on our presents. At this point, you know what I mean?
But some are better than others.
Some are better than others. Yeah.
I will say, because now we're talking about her, and I do really want to talk about the girlfriend. I actually do think she's wrong in one scene. And I don't know if it's because I'm crazy and I'm career driven, but there's an entire scene where he's really trying to get this show off the ground.
He's in a dog costume.
He's in a dog costume, sweating his ass off, okay, out there barking, okay. Just I can't imagine being a dog. Like I don't even care.
On Christmas Eve, by the way, by the logic of this movie.
You're in a costume. Even still, if somebody says, "Come here," like that would just be hard for me mentally to do as a human being, even if I'm acting. So like this guy's just working. He's working hard for the money out there. He's really driving towards it. Okay. And the president of the network says, "Hey, you should join us for dinner tonight." He's supposed to go to dinner with some friends because it's Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's like, okay, we're going to go to this dinner. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. She says, well, we've been planning this dinner with these friends for months. We can't just cancel. And he says, you don't understand. You know how hard I've been working towards this. This is somebody I'm really trying to please. I need to pull this show out of the dumpster. We need to go to this dinner. I agree with him. I do. If you're actually my friend, and maybe it's just because I'm naturally a very flaky person. I'm going to be honest with you. But all of my friends know that, and I mostly have flaky friends.
I will say this: if you and I had plans to get together, Christmas Eve, let's say, and you were like, "I got to go, big important thing for my career," I'd be like, "Well, then who's gonna eat all this cheese?" I guess it's gonna be me.
It's gonna be me.
And I would be fine.
Yes, because I would want that for my friend. If my friend was over at my house and they looked at me and said, "Do you know how much I love you? I turned down a huge opportunity tonight to be here." That would make me so deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I would go, no, leave. What are you doing here? My God.
Yeah.
And I get it. That the whole idea is Christmas is supposed to be for friends and family.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a time where you look around and appreciate the people around you.
100%. Love
your life. Have just a blanket appreciation for these people. It is a day. It means nothing, in my opinion. Let's do it tomorrow. Yeah. We're adults. What do you mean? None of us have kids, okay?
Yeah, actually, that's...
None of them had kids. It's like, hey, do you mind if we bump this a day? Sick. Yeah. Awesome. Let's just shove it down the calendar. What are you talking about?
Yeah, shit happens. I will say, from the boss's side, it is a dick move
absolutely.
to invite someone out for a networking thing on Christmas Eve.
Certainly.
I think that speaks a little bit to like let's give Karen Allen the most benefit of the doubt here, which is that
do we do that here?
Sorry. Which is that like that's definitely a sign of like a road that you're going down where you go like, oh, you this is a work all the time kind of company. This is This is a job where you are going. Not only are you working Christmas Eve, which like fine, like a Christmas Eve can be like a Tuesday. I understand, it's not the holiday. It just sort of should be.
Yeah.
And for there to be a networking thing that night means that your boss doesn't have any perception of like
boundaries Yeah.
or difference between
human
that.
decency.
Yeah. So I can understand being like, oh, that's the path that you're choosing. And I'm going to guess, since we only get snippets of Christmas Eves, that this is not the first time that this sort of conflict has happened.
I just say, like, wedding, sure. Like, if it was a wedding, somebody's whatever, maybe somebody's getting their dick snipped. I don't know. Okay, maybe I need to be there for that. I have no idea. But if it can be moved, why not?
Exactly.
Okay, although I'm a part, like, my family now, we don't give a shit. You know what? We're all adults now. It's about the kids, okay?
Yeah.
I call my brother and say, when do you want me to be in your home? I don't care what day it is, okay? It could be Christmas, could be Boxing Day, could be 3 days after Boxing Day. What does your wife want to do? When are we doing it? Let's go.
Aunt Rebecca will show up with the loud presence.
Yeah. And if it ends up being the TV opportunity of a lifetime for me that evening for some reason, we'll do it tomorrow. Okay, we'll do it tomorrow. That's fine.
Also, you know what I think we have as, I'm going to say, Canadians that maybe some other people don't have is, I'm not even going to say Canadians. I'm going to say Northeastern, North America, which is the deeply held belief that any Christmas plans can be upended in any minute by weather.
Oh, facts.
You know what I mean?
Those are the facts and figures of the situation. Absolutely, dude. There was one Christmas I was risking my life.
Oh yeah, that's the Christmas I was thinking about.
Risking my life out here. I looked at my brother after that car ride and went, we're never doing this again. I don't care. That was the scariest thing that's ever happened to me.
This was the Christmas where it's like we were coming out of the pandemic. Like I hadn't spent a Christmas with my family in like years. And it was like literally this. We're talking about the same Christmas because we've talked about this, but this is Christmas Eve, and literally every road in the province of Ontario had been shut down. It wasn't even just highways.
No, it was fuckery.
Like the government was like,
don't drive.
Nobody should be on the roads. And I was so sad. Meanwhile, in Toronto, it was like fine. It was like above freezing. And
totally
like Toronto was like the only place in the entire province that was okay.
It was crazy.
So like I was sitting here and like looking out the window being like, it's like raining.
And we're all gonna die, eh?
And meanwhile, there's like people dying in ditches because like it's so snowy in the rest of the province. And I was just like, I can't believe like I'm missing out on Christmas Eve dinner. And like we finally just had to say to ourselves, like, it's not a choice between being with family on Christmas and being here on Christmas. It's a choice between being in a ditch for Christmas or being here for Christmas.
Oh, buddy, I wasn't
that was the choice. Like there was.
I wasn't kissing death. I was Frenching death. Okay, I had tongue in there. Okay, it was bad for a minute. Yeah. I was like, no, we're going to die.
So all this to say, it's like, hey, something happened.
Yeah.
There's a business. Also, especially if there's no kids involved, especially if you're just hopping on the subway and going to somebody's apartment in New York City, you go for dinner. You go like, hey, we're going to stop by 8, 9 o'clock instead. Like, we'll go to dinner with my boss.
Yeah, we'll have a late.
We'll have a late.
Either way. That was the one scene where I was like, nah, girl, nah.
I will say, I hated that she was so gaga doe-eyed over him.
Me too.
In every single situation.
Every scene. I was like, this guy has been a dick since day one, and you still are. And now, we've all been there, girl. Hey, we've all been there, huh? Sometimes you can't see it. I was trying to judge her on that, but I really can't. I've just had too many life experiences where I've loved complete and total fucking assholes. Well, like to the core.
The point at which I didn't get it, like, fine, you had a relationship together, and I even find, like, oh my God, my ex called me Christmas Eve. He seems to be going through some stuff.
That is when they're doing it.
Yeah.
I'll
he seems
tell
to
you
be going through some stuff, so I show up and like it's good to see him and like, oh, it's been a couple years. But then he acts like such an ass.
Yeah.
while she's there, he's not trying to hide that. He's actively yelling at employees. He's telling people to stop hammering on a live set. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're building a set for tonight. Like, you want to talk, go somewhere else. That's where they need to build the sets.
Yeah.
You know? What I forget what else he's doing, but he yells at his secretary's kid. He like pulls him out of like behind a pillar and yells at him for being on set in front of her.
He shouldn't be on set.
No, I don't think he should either.
No, I mean that kid.
Oh, the kid shouldn't be?
Get the kid the fuck out of here. Sorry.
It's fine.
No. We don't have insurance for that. Get the hell out of here. Okay, nah. I'm with him on that.
Okay.
That kid should. I don't care how cute that kid is. He can't be here. This is a workplace. Okay. This is actually a safety issue. Okay.
Well, then give the mother time off so she can take care of her.
Oh no, that's bullshit.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's some heartless bullshit. I was like, oh, we're really pouring it on, eh? She can't take him to the. Okay, I will. The other thing, I will say this. I strongly believe a towel is a great gift.
Okay.
As an adult, because I don't think it's just, I don't think he's sending, I understand that the whole joke is he's sending VCRs to some people and towels to other people. As an adult woman, if I receive a plush, nice, 5-star hotel quality towel, that is an excellent gift.
Yeah.
And that is a gift I would love to get on Christmas. The older I get, the more I want socks. I want socks. I want towels. But I want the nice one. You know what I mean?
I want, and you know what I want in my stocking? I want like toothpaste.
Yeah.
I want a spare toothbrush. I want like all the shit that you would go to a store to get yourself. That like, great, for the next month I don't got to do that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I want practical things I'm going to use.
Give me a stick of deodorant, please.
I have shit. Because the thing is that I really believe as an adult, the in-between stuff, the stuff that's it's almost like I have no middle on gifts. It's I want socks or I want a PS5.
Yeah,
I don't want anything in the middle.
Because this is
I
my
want
problem.
something I can't afford or something that I ham and haw. Oh, I want some nice bed sheets. Okay, that's what I want.
100%. And I think that is a problem with being an adult and why, as adults, we have stopped giving presents to my sister and things like that.
Why?
Because we are all adults. We are all capable of taking care of our lives. If there's something that costs like $30, $40 that would make your life so much easier, you've gotten it already.
Yeah, I bought it.
Why would you not?
I want replacements for things
right.
that I already own.
Or it's like something that you're going to use up like toothpaste or like a toothbrush or something like that. And then by all means, get me that. Or it's something so expensive or so specific that you dare not, or you hum and
it's just
haw.
a big treat. It's like there's no way. Like I shouldn't.
But people shouldn't be getting you that because it's too expensive.
Yes,
and people,
yes.
Anyway,
unless I'm fucking you, in which case, go for it. Listen, if you've put your dick inside of me, you can buy me a PS5. That's my rule.
Fair enough. It's a good rule.
I think it's a great rule. Okay, you've been up in it. Yeah, you can buy me something expensive. Okay, I'm worth it, baby. That's right. If you've seen my tits, yes. Okay. Get that video game money out, baby.
You've seen the tits, you can get me a dual shock.
Yeah, that's... Why does that? Anyway.
I don't know.
No, I like it. No.
Pairs. Anyway.
Yes.
All right. Here's my argument.
Okay.
For this one, which I've said it before and I will say it again. Ghosts aren't real. None of this happened.
Ghosts are cheating.
Ghosts are cheating, and ghosts aren't real. Nothing. And magic isn't real. None of this happened.
Perfect. Yes. Mwah. Chef's kiss. I like that. You went the opposite route.
I went the opposite way.
Where I'm like, this really happened, but this man did not deserve it.
Right. And my point is that none of the ghost stuff happened. This man is going absolutely insane. I think his insanity is being guided or created by the fact that he is currently in charge of filming a Christmas Carol.
So he's hit like a mania.
So his psychosis is like, I don't know, partnering up with that. But, and this is more in defense of his boss, Preston, right?
Yeah.
And the guy who's sort of brought in to, it's framed as replace, but it's very much like help him out.
Yeah.
So Bryce, I think, is his name.
Yes.
Bryce Cummings. So it's like, oh, he's moving into my territory. He's stealing my thing.
No, you're doing a terrible job.
You are so clearly in over your head and stressed out. Things don't start going bad for him when the quote unquote ghosts show up.
Yeah.
Things are already going bad for him in that very first meeting that we see him in.
That is very true. Because it doesn't seem like, it seems like there's been a communication breakdown or something between him and the man that owns the network, but also communication breakdowns between him and every single other person that works here.
Yep.
It's my way or the highway. I'm the youngest executive that's ever worked for or whatever the speech he gives.
Yes.
I'm the youngest man that's ever done this. And it's like, oh, yeah, then maybe you should take a bit of advice from everyone around you.
Yeah. Or even to get to the point where they have shot a promo for this Christmas Eve special.
Looks good.
Looks good. It's on. It's
testing well.
It's shot. It's on air, I believe.
Yeah. And it's testing well. Like, they're getting good feedback.
Right. And this is the first time that he's seen it or had his hand in it? No. This is too late.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there was a time to make changes earlier. I think we've spent, what did he say? We spent like $150,000 on this, and we start with an old guy reading a book by a fireplace.
That's
fair criticism.
It is a fair criticism. It's also so funny to think about how inflated that's all be. I'm like, oh, 150 grand. Wow, that's discounts. We got discount prices.
Actually, sorry, it is 40 million is what they said.
Oh, that's very different. Yeah. That is very different.
So I think that's
okay. That makes sense.
That is a fair criticism. But I think at any point, if you're going to have input into it, either you need to trust your underlings, your employees, to do their job and create this promo, or you should have been more involved from day one. Like, this is something that should have been solved November, not late December. Right? So things are already going bad for him.
Yes.
Things are spiraling out of control.
Can I say, though?
Yeah.
I laughed so hard when they were like, this has killed an old lady. And I'm like, that can't be your fault or problem at all. I'm sorry.
No.
It is not. Okay, that's one of the points where I was like, oh, yeah, that's not your problem. That sounded like a cool breeze was going to set that woman off. Okay, welcome to the world, lady.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Acid rain, drug addiction, international terrorism, freeway killers, watch Scrooge, your life may depend on it. I was like, one, that's so funny.
Dude, if I saw that, I got to give it to him. I actually think that is great promo. That's very funny.
Yeah.
That is a very funny thing to do. Okay, if I cued into that, just like watching that the hard switch of that would just be amazing.
Yeah.
Watching that, waiting for something big to pop off, something bad to happen, and it's just a regular, like, look at this woman do a couple of flips. Awesome.
The Olympic gymnast as Tiny Tim is hilarious.
That's very funny.
Very funny. But back to my argument. It's like, so he fires Loudermilk, right? Bobcat Goldthwait, who I think that's somewhat reasonable, but because he ends up coming back and shooting up the place. So, like, obviously that guy's not well. But, like, I also think he fires him for just questioning him, period.
Yes.
Which is, like, that to me is, like, you're already spiraling, right? Like, if you're having a meeting and someone's like, maybe we should do something different, and you fire, it's like, you're in, like, self-preservation attack mode.
Yeah.
Right? So, right from the get, this guy is not doing well.
No.
His boss is like, okay, so then ignore the ghost stuff. The next sort of thing that really happens is he goes out for lunch with his boss and he's acting crazy erratic and is like, here's a guy who's going to come help you. At which point he runs out, throws water on a waiter.
Oh, yeah, he wet t-shirt contest a bitch. Yeah.
Takes a fucking header as he's leaving the room and is running all over town, like going to the homeless shelter, visiting his ex, being like, come with me, whatever. And then shows up live on TV, interrupts a live presentation. Like there's even points where Bryce is like, "Oh, hey, we've been so worried about you. You just took off after lunch and now you're showing back up here at the studio. Why don't you go back up to your office? Why don't you do this?" And then all the Ghost of Christmas Present and Christmas Future stuff happens. And then he just shows up live on TV with his buddy holding the control room hostage with a shotgun.
Yeah. This movie actually ends in an arrest.
Yeah.
If you extend 15 minutes past the end of the movie, that man's arrested.
Yeah, like the NYPD are running up the stairs as he's doing his monologue.
That's so funny. If you tear we have him surrounded. Because if you look at the whole tapestry, you're right. If you pull out any scene he has with the ghosts, this is a 20-minute breakdown.
Yeah.
Because I gotta tell you, if I was sitting around at like a brunch or something and one of my friends was like, so I called my ex, I would hold their hand and be like, "Are you okay? What's going on? You called your ex. Are you okay?" That's the equivalent of getting bangs, man. You can't be, you're not okay.
A Christmas Eve ex call?
No, bro.
Like,
No. That's right up there with New Year's.
Yeah,
Okay. You're having a breakdown.
I'm scared something happened, blah, 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 blah. Also, I will point out that he's been drinking since, I think, noon of the 23rd. Because his boss comes in, right? Mm-hmm. And he downs the thing is like to his secretary, like, hide the booze.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, though, if I was starting to be visited by ghosts, that'd be my first move, too.
Yeah.
Time travel. I think I gotta be a little drunk for that.
Oh, I agree. It's like
I agree. If you can't be drunk time traveling, what are we even doing here?
it's like it's like you loosen your body. It loosens your body in a crash, so you don't tense up and hurt yourself.
That's right.
There's got to be some time travel whiplash there.
Where would you go if you could time travel anywhere? If you were like anywhere in your life, any point in your life, to bear witness.
Yeah, I can't change anything, right?
You can't change anything.
And are we talking like Christmas rules?
No.
Okay, so it's not like you have to.
No,
we're opening it up to any.
Could be the Ghosts of Arbor Day. It's whatever you want. Okay.
Great question. Where would I go to observe?
Just you could watch yourself. It's such a creepy question, but
it's also like cringy. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's the thing. I'm like, do you want to go back and witness something lovely and pleasant, or do you want to go back and watch a car crash? I think I would want to go back and watch a car crash, because the thing is that number one, if I go back and watch something nice, is it as nice as I remember?
almost certainly not.
Exactly. So I'm like, clearly my brain has done something here, and I'm just going to preserve that memory. Okay, I'm going to go, oh, that was a very nice moment in time. I think I'm trying to, I'm like, I would maybe want to go back for something mid-tier, something like a little embarrassing and fun, but like just to see maybe who I was at that moment.
Yeah, I think I don't have one exact instant to give you, but I agree with you. It's like I would go back to something that like I learned a lesson from already.
Yes.
Right? Where it's like, I can't believe I did that. And I would go back and see if my memory of it matched how
could be very healing. Could be because what happens is I used to do a lot of like, what was it? I think it was called like EMDR. Also valid, also a valid point. Very helpful as well sometimes. But what was it called? Eye movement, brain, reorientation. So basically, you're being instructed through therapy, but you're mostly focused on how, your brain how your head feels, your neck and your head. How do they feel?
Okay.
And you're doing eye movement at the same time. And then you're just working through a traumatic experience.
Oh,
and
I've
what
heard
it
of this,
allows you to do is push that information to the front of your brain where you can observe it almost as a third party. And that is extremely, at least for me, felt extremely healing, because taking yourself out of the equation and just kind of watching it allows you to have a new perspective on it.
Yeah.
So I would go, okay, what would be the trauma thing I'd want to go back and watch and go, oh, okay, yeah, you're fine, girl. Like, just have a healing moment for yourself.
Or that wasn't as bad as you thought it was, or it was as bad but you did better, or like all of those things where it's like because there's something they mentioned this in a movie I watched recently, and I know that it's true, but I can't remember what movie it was. Oh, it was Heretic. Great movie, check it out.
Okay.
But they mentioned like, when you remember something, you don't actually remember. You're not actually recalling the events as they're happening. You're remembering the last time that you remembered it.
Ah,
right.
Yeah.
So every time your memory changes,
it's
a little
memory
bit.
of a memory of a memory of a memory.
Exactly. Yeah, because you basically recreate the event from whatever the neuron setup is of like your memory of that event. So and it has never been reliable narrative.
Oh,
like
no,
a
none
reliable
of us. Not one of us.
It's just a memory of a memory. So it's like, so to that point, I think that's why it would be interesting to go back to that and be like, oh, witness it again firsthand and be like, yeah.
Although the comedian in me just wants to go back to like places where I'm like, that might be a good bit, actually.
Oh.
Like me handing my my actual ID when I'm 16 to a bartender, hoping he won't look at the date. Stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Just like fun shit.
And you, in your mind,
Yeah.
I'm sure even now, thought that you looked so old that you could pass for 19.
Buddy, I would love to watch that.
You would be like a child in your eyes.
12! I would love 12! Be like, look at this 12-year-old trying to get into the bar right now. So hilarious.
Buy this girl a Marble Run kit. Don't get her a beer.
Or like the weekend where I'm hanging out at my friend's house because my parents intercepted a bunch of booze. There's just so many snappy moments that might be nice to bear witness to.
You know what? Another one I would be really tempted to go back and do, and this is pure arrogance on my part.
Hey, get that ego. Let's go.
There's one comedy set that I can one or two actually. There's maybe two that I would go back and I would love to be in the audience and see myself perform.
Oh, wow.
Right?
You're really masturbating on that one. I like it. I like it. Stroke it.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Because like they were formative in my career.
Okay, yeah.
In terms of like, the one was like, it was very early on. I had struggled for so long where I was like going to open mics and like not getting any laughs. And I like seriously said to myself, like, am I even fucking funny? Like I can't.
Oh, yeah.
And like, but by the way, like a year in, like no business being funny. But you don't realize that at the time. And then I had one set and I absolutely crushed it, asterisk for at the time and the thing, right? And it was like I was shaking as I came off stage and people like swarmed around me and you're like, you did it, you figured it out, right? It's like you cracked it. Like it was like, but it literally felt like a crack.
Yeah.
Like it had.
No, I'm just
like,
laughing because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's very relatable to me.
And I want to chase that dragon. And I'd be so interested. Ghost of Christmas Pass it. Just be there in that audience with, whoever my Ghost of Christmas Pass is, like a weird cabbie or a Muppet or whoever it may be. And sit there and be like, from my expertise now, basically 20 years later, being like, was that actually funny?
So funny. Yeah, that's all I was thinking about while you were talking is me going, oh, girl, sweet child, you thought that was crushing? You're so adorable. Like, Yeah. And so some of those memories might just be good to be left back there.
That's true.
With the crushing and the high fives that you can give yourself and your own, memory of the situation.
Yeah, you're. I don't think you're. Yeah, and the more you talk about it, the more I think like maybe a good memory would suffer more. Than
That's what
like
I'm
a bad
saying. I think
memory.
I got to go to a bad one. I got to go to a bad one and go, oh, you had a really tough time. Look at you being strong and getting through it. Or watching it and going, oh, thank God I've learned so much since then.
Yeah.
What a nightmare. What can you do?
Yeah. Anyway, all this to say, none of that happened. He's just in a slow, crazy decline.
Yep.
That started way before the movie started and has culminated in a hostage situation at the end.
Absolutely.
So I think his boss stepping in and being like, here's a guy who's going to help you is legitimate.
And whose end story is him getting tied up and sexually assaulted.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You're like,
by the
like regulations lady,
yeah,
or whatever.
standards and practices lady,
yeah.
who keeps getting injured on the set.
This production should be shut down
By OSHA.
Yeah, like this is why I think he should have been mad at the child being, because not 30 seconds after that, there's a major workplace accident where the whole set collapses.
Yep.
So yes, we shouldn't have a small child on set. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Okay, and I know he's adorable, and I really like his assistant. Like, I think she's a very grounding, wonderful character, and I do like that you get to see her family. And I honestly would have liked a few more scenes with her.
Yeah,
because I
she
felt
is the
like she was
Cratchit of like, yeah,
she was the nice through line of a sane, stable woman keeping it together.
yeah.
My God.
And when he was like, if I work late, you work late. Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, I got a doctor's appointment 2 months ago for my kid who's not talking because, as we learn later, crazy trauma. Saw his father murdered in front of him.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go there. And by the way, when she's getting off that subway and is like $200 for you to tell me my son's not talking, I know he's not talking. Like, tell me. And I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel for you so bad. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, especially I was like, where's Luigi? Anyway, point being is that, yes, she is the most down-to-earth, sane character, far more than his ex-girlfriend, far more than the bosses he has, far more than anyone that's working on this production. She is a nice, sane person that's just trying to get through life.
Yeah.
My God.
You know what also pissed me off in this is the way that the movie ends. In The Ghost of Christmas Present, he is shown that there is a homeless man that he met
Oh, right, yeah.
at the shelter that Claire is running, who he's mean to, and later goes and freezes to death on the streets of New York.
Yeah.
And at no point does he go and try and help that man. Like the Ghost of Christmas Present is like, it's Christmas Eve, right? Like, those things happen on Christmas. Like, that's the whole Scrooge thing, is like he's actually able to go and like change things for the present Christmas when he like wakes up. This guy is just like, I'm going to go on TV, I'm going to get arrested. And that guy still freezes to death on the street.
Yep.
They show his ghost with the ghost of...
They were like, isn't it fun? He's with the fairy lady. And I was like, I don't think that's fun.
No.
I think that's very tragic.
Yeah. And, I mean, it sort of brings to mind Groundhog Day, another Bill Murray movie, where there is a homeless man who he continually tries to help.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter what he does.
Yes.
The guy always dies, even though, like, he's nice to him and he brings him shelter and he gives him food and everything like that. Like, whatever he does, he dies that night. And like, that is a much like, meanwhile, this one's just like, and yeah, that guy's gone.
But he's homeless, so it doesn't matter?
I was like, oh, we needed to change that. We needed some course correction there,
Nah, fuck that dude. He was on day 6 of those underpants, okay? He does not belong in proper society.
Oh, no.
I'm totally kidding. No, that's a nightmare. Okay, absolutely not. That it was a very dark ending for that man.
Yeah. I mean, and even how it worked out is he shows up at the shelter. Mm-hmm. And so this isn't part of Ghost of Christmas Present. So this actually happens. And he's mean to the homeless people in the homeless shelter. He's yelling at his ex to come and eat Chinese food with him. And she's like, it's Christmas Eve.
Give me all she really says is, give me a minute.
I got to call A&P to get the turkeys.
You arrived out of nowhere. You demand my attention immediately like a toddler. This man is a toddler.
Yeah.
This man runs around, says, "Where's my bottle?" Okay. Where's my nipple? Okay, where's my nipple? Where's my bottle? Wah, wah, wah. Why isn't everyone catering to me? When I'm up, you're up because you're my mommy.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is. And there's the obvious contrast between him not going to dinner with their friends that they had planned and her choosing him choosing his career over her, and then her choosing helping people over him.
Yeah, but for a minute.
For a minute.
Give me a minute.
Chinese food will keep.
Yeah.
By the time I get this A&P thing sorted out, and by the time I make sure everyone's got a blank, like I can't even imagine the arrogance it would require to show up at a homeless shelter and be like, "You're not busy, right? Just come and hang out." Like and he calls the volunteers incompetent and is like being like, cut them out of your life. Yeah. You're no good. I was like, they are volunteers at a homeless shelter on Christmas Eve. They are the best of us.
Yeah. Also, I'm just going to say it. Bill Murray's not hot enough to pull off that attitude.
Right?
He is not hot enough. Okay, I'm sorry. He's very funny.
He's got a schmarmy charm to him.
Yes, he does.
AKA Ghostbusters.
Yeah. But my friends would be sitting me down and go, "Not for this ugly man.
Nope.
Not for this guy.
Nope.
Absolutely not. You could tolerate this behavior perhaps from a supermodel, but not this man."
No. And I think you could also tolerate it a little bit from somebody you're currently dating. They're having a bad day.
Yeah.
But this is an ex who shows up out of nowhere and then is rude to everybody in his life and in your life that he doesn't even know. I'm sorry. You know the amount of charm it would need to take for an ex to show up out of nowhere and it not to be weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to overcome the fact that they are your ex doing this?
Yeah. I mean,
that's a high bar to clear.
It's happened a few times. It's gone down a few times. I'm not going to lie to you.
But they're not
the heart wants what the heart wants.
But are you telling me you're like getting a call, like meet with an ex for coffee, that's fine, and then they're rude to the waiter? And you're like still on board.
No, okay. Here's what I think has happened here, and why I kind of agree with a lot of this woman's actions. Because you explained it, I think, very well by pulling out the ghost scenes. If I'm this man's ex, I just want to make sure he's not going to kill himself.
Yeah.
That's what this energy is. It's manic. It's right around the holidays. I do want to go out for Chinese with you, not so we can rekindle some sort of relationship, just so I can make sure you're not jumping off the ledge.
Yeah, because he is calling you.
It is still a human kindness.
He's clearly in crisis from that first phone call and first message he gave you.
And he is a man in crisis. Okay,
Oh yeah, good morning.
He's a man in crisis. For him to even call is a really big deal. For men in our society,
in the 80s
especially, and I would argue even today, if I get a manic call from an ex, I gotta be honest with you, it doesn't matter how bad you dogged me, how bad that relationship is. I'm probably still picking up the phone. I'm probably still going out for coffee. I'm still probably accepting some of that energy.
Yeah.
Just because this had to take everything you had.
Yeah.
It had to take everything you had to call me and reach out and look for a little help.
And think, who can I talk to?
Who can I talk to? And how sad is it that I'm the call?
Yeah.
No. Things have gone very, very wrong in your life. I'm not saying I feel full responsibility for you, but what I am saying is that I'm going to at least touch base.
Yeah, no,
I'm going to have a little meet talk. I'm not making out with you at the end of this movie, assuredly. But I'm going to say hello, how you doing?
The coffee might even be on me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in your life.
Yeah, this is a little dark, but it spouts off of that, where she's like, there was a TikTok or Instagram Reels video or whatever, and it was a therapist, a woman, talking about like, when a man shows up to therapy for the first time, like, you need to treat that like it's an ER visit.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
because it took a lot to get here.
Yeah.
Okay. It took a lot to say, I'm going to...
Not saying that for everyone, but like as a general rule of like, this is triage that we're doing. Like, this is an emergency by the time that they've come to you.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not saying... I'm not bringing you to my house. Okay, we're meeting in public. Okay, this is a public space. I do have to be aware of my own safety here as well.
Yep.
But I'm saying, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? You need it minimum. So that's why I understood her going, oh, please wait a minute. I'm just going to, and we can go to do whatever you want because you're having an episode. You're having a breakdown. You're not okay.
Yeah, you're right. And to understand that, you pull out all the past history that we've seen through the ghosts. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I see why she would do that.
So, I mean, this is a great movie, because watching it with all the ghosts and all the fun and all this kind of stuff, absolutely. But if you're just this woman from her perspective, okay. She kisses him on live television to be nice and then goes, okay, so we're going to the doctor now.
Yeah. I know a few people.
Yeah. I can help you out. I got some channels on this.
I do have one final villain that I think was right in this. And there's not much of an argument here. It's just his boss, Preston, who comes to him at the beginning and is like, put more animals in the shows because our statistics show that like animals watch TV.
And we want to really get a hold of that market.
That demographic, which sounds insane and is one of those notes. And then they put the dormice in the show.
Yeah.
And the pets all react to it. And I was like, so he was right.
He is right. I think it's a brilliant business model. Is there even something that exists like that? There's gotta be.
There's YouTube videos that you can just play, and it's like birds flying around.
Because then you're out of the house, and you give them some sort of stimulation. Yes.
Also, you're gonna keep watching it as a human because you're like, look at our animals. Look at him attack the screen. Actually, a dog treats? Oh, okay, I'll buy that, actually.
I am pro more animals. I am.
Animal content.
More animal content. I like it. I agree with him. It is and for the boss, he does get somebody in immediately to try and relieve him. He seems to come full circle as well.
Yeah.
He's just a nice dude the whole way through. I kind of get why he's doing what he's doing. I agree with him. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
I think he's perfect. Is it time?
I think it's time.
It's that time to rank that villain. Who you ranking?
So I'm gonna rank our main character, Frank Cross.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Because I think he's like largely a villain in this. So I did the Charles Dickens scale, aka the Dickensian scale, which it took me so long to realize like that Dickensian referred to Charles Dickens. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
wow.
I was like, yeah, Dickensian is a thing, and then
Yes.
it's like, well, it's Charles Dickens. I was like, right. Anyway,
Well, obviously, I didn't know that either.
Oh, you didn't?
Oh, of course not.
Oh, okay,
Absolutely
okay.
not. You are.
but you've heard the term
Yes, of course,
Dickensian,
of
right?
course.
Yeah. Anyway,
You are a much smarter person. than I.
no, that's why I did it this way, because I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to assume that people know that Dickensian means Charles Dickens.
Well, I didn't.
Anyway, so the Dickensian scale, from the scale of from A Tale of Two Cities to Great Expectations, I'm going to give Frank Cross a David Copperfield, by which I mean the magician, because none of this happened.
That's good. That's good. Okay, I'm ranking his replacement.
Right.
And I'm doing the therapy scale. So from over the phone therapy, just kind of probably a trial run, all the way up to ghosts and time travel, the greatest therapy of all. I am going to give his replacement mimosas at brunch with the girlies. Great in a pinch. Okay. Not bad. He's not a bad man. And team, before we get to our heroes and villains of the week, as always, there are a couple of ways you can help out the podcast. If you would like to get bonus content, we are on Patreon, patreon.com/thevillainwasright. If you need a last minute gift for Christmas, you can gift us to one of your friends or family. We do 2 bonus episodes every single month. I selected Santa with Muscles, which the title is exactly, it's perfection. I love it. We're going to talk about it. A cinematic masterpiece, as always. Oh, God. We also have ad-free tiers, audience choice tiers. This was an audience choice. If you want to vote, get on to Patreon. And if you would like to follow us.
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Villain Was Right, where you can sort of see videos of us, clips from the podcast, everything like that. Saying dumb stuff as well. If you want to get in touch with us, if you want to suggest a movie for the podcast, villainwasright@gmail.com is your best bet. We do read everything. We do write it down. We're really behind in getting back to everyone.
We're so behind.
But we do read all the messages and everything like that. So if you want to get in touch with us, that is where you can do that. And thank you to everybody who's listened this year and told your friends about us and continue to support us. You guys are the best. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. We love you.
And now it is time for our heroes and villains of the week. I've got a villain this week. A very, very small villain. I do want to be very clear about what I am saying is the villain. So I recently had my family over for, I had them over to my place, and the villain is not inviting my family over, having them over. My villain is preparing to have people over. Which I found very, very stressful.
I love that heat. I love that. I want a little pressure. I want a time slot. I'm running.
Yeah. So just to give you a little backstory, we've been in our place for like 3 years now, and my sisters had not yet come to see it.
Woo!
So
shut up.
Yeah,
Craig.
yeah. So they're like every family gathering, every time I'd see them, they would be like, "Well, when are you going to invite us over? When are you going to invite us over?" And we've tried a bunch of times, like I'd be like, okay, this is the date, and then someone would get sick, and then we had to cancel, or it's like, this is like the kids it's March break for the kids, and we're going to Florida, and it's like trying to coordinate schedules and then also kids, so it just didn't happen. And finally, this past Canadian Thanksgiving, I was just like, no, we're just picking a day. We picked a random Saturday in November, and I was like, this is going to happen. Like, clear your calendars, because this is the date and then we had to move it once. So that's how stressful it was.
But you moved it and it wasn't a problem.
Moving it, everyone followed, and it's fine. And it's just like this stress. I also picked this story for like near Christmas because I know a lot of people are feeling this stress where you're like, the stress all comes from the difference in level between like how you live your life and what you feel comfortable presenting people, and the amount of work that it takes to bridge that gap is like, oh no, like like I feel bad about myself because this takes so much.
No, I've said what's wrong with you to myself a few times when I'm cleaning.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
You're way cleaner than I am. Like it's, but this sort of culminated in I'm at the grocery store and I'm like, okay, I've got to get I'm going to get the appetizer. I'm going to get like some cheeses and I'm going to and then I just bought like store-bought lasagnas. And I was like, we're going to put that in the oven and we're going to do that and make a salad. It's going to be simple. And I'm sitting there being like, how much lasagna do you need for 12 people, some of whom are kids? And I'm like, just trying to go through this math. And then I was like, wait a minute. How many forks do we own?
Oh, no. Not the forks.
And I quickly text Kat. I was like, how many, how much silverware do we have? Because it's only ever the two of us and we never run out. And she's like, we have 6. And I was like, oh, thank God I thought of that. Like the silverware, I had to get a whole other silverware set at the grocery store because I was like, we wouldn't have enough utensils otherwise. I ended up day of having to go to my friend Luke's house and load up extra chairs because we didn't have enough chairs. And I was just like, oh my God.
Oh, by the way, I have folding chairs if you ever need chairs.
That would be so much
I
easier.
have 4. So
I
have 4 folding chairs. Yes.
Yeah.
But just for your future information.
Thank you.
I have some folding chairs in my house.
Thank you so much. That saves me so much time.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's kind of just my villain of the week was
Hilarious.
Oh no, utensils. Anyway.
I have a villain for sure. I have a villain just because it was the craziest thing I've ever. I hosted the craziest show I think I've seen in years, maybe the craziest show. And that's really saying something because I see a lot of crazy shows. So I'm hosting this show and it's just like a club show, whatever. But it's mostly comprised. It's mostly one company's Christmas party.
Right.
Do you know when that happens?
Yeah.
It's there's a few couples here, but for the most part,
they bought out 80% of the audience.
Yeah, it's one group. It's their Christmas party, and they are fucking tanked, son. Okay, they are lit up. All right. So as a host, it is my job to try and corral these people, just get them into a solid group, try and become an audience, right? So I do my best with that, and they're getting pretty good. They're okay. They seem to be settled handling it. First couple acts go up again. It's one of those things where all they want you to do is crowd work, so that's what we're doing. That's fine. Final act goes up. And he does a bit somebody doesn't like, and that person stands and starts giving it to him, basically, how dare you? Okay, that's the general tone of this. How dare you? And then a few more people stand up, and now it's becoming a thing where it is audience versus comedian. And we're all at the back going, what on earth am I watching right now? It gets so turned up that half these people leave, the other half kind of stay but are trickling out, and I watch he had to have been 65. I watch a 65-year-old man try and fight the comedian physically. Fight this man. It was
while on stage.
Absolute anarchy, okay? This comedian, sticking to his guns, is running down the clock because he has a few more minutes left, is yelling at this guy. There's comedians in between them. Now the lights are on, the music's playing. It was like watching the fucking Titanic go down, man. It was crazy. It was one of the craziest things I have ever witnessed. I didn't even go back up on stage. I was a host. I just looked at the audience from where I was standing and I went, thank you for coming. Hope you come back. Sorry. It was absolute anarchy, dude. Anyway.
For a comedy show to go that bad, it's wow.
Sideways. Anyway, absolutely nuts. One of the craziest things I've ever witnessed. Couple of villains, maybe a hero. I don't know. Up for you to decide. But there we go. That's what would happen to me this week.
Wow.
Well, it didn't really happen to me. I was a witness. I was a witness to that event, I'll say, but that was absolutely wild. It has been so long since I've seen somebody try to fight a man on stage.
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute. That might be coming back.
I hope not.
I hope not too. Because you have the option to leave, and I must tell you, that hurts us far more than anything else. Me watching people walk out, that eats the soul. But again, I'm a bit of a softie in that respect. Some people do hold that as a point of pride, not myself. Anyway, that is it for us. As always, you can follow me at Rebecca Reads on any platform of your choosing. If you are looking for a New Year's show, I am doing a New Year's show in Toronto at Comedy Bar, West End location. I believe it is the 9 or 9:30 show. So you look out for that. It's called Drunk. So if you want to come watch me absolutely get so fucked up and then get on stage, you can come check me out there. Where can people find you, Greg?
Yeah, you can follow me at Craig Faye Comedy on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And if you are in Hamilton or Ottawa, I will be headlining there in the new year. So check out craigfaye.com for show dates and tickets for that.
And next week, we are covering the Hilary Duff Classique. Raise Your Voice. I am so pumped. It is a great episode. Super fun. And this is The Villain Was Right, reminding you, when in doubt, quarter nipple out.
The Villain Was Right was produced by Andrew Ivimey for the From Superheroes Network. For more great podcasts like this, as well as YouTube series, webcomics, and so much more, visit FromSuperheroes.com.